Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is the second part of this video on how to make a single line into a double line precisely so it would cut a thicker line. Now, in all my years of engraving, I've never wanted to make the line thicker. I've wanted to make the line thinner. The kerf, it's basically a kerf. So if you haven't watched the first video, you might want to watch that. But I did go out to the shop and I ran this test. This one is a hairline, and I apologize, the pictures aren't just perfect. This is 0.08 contoured line, so it cut a thicker line. Now, when I was out there, I was thinking you can do the same thing with it being out of focus. If you're not familiar with how your lens is focusing, it's basically right there is the focal point. The lens is taken, and this isn't an exact drawing, but it's taking into that consideration that point right there. That's where it's most perfectly pointed. So if you have it 1/4 of an inch up, which would actually be down on the laser, your focal length is going to be quite a bit bigger. Your kerf is going to be bigger. So you're going to get a wider cut. And I did. But the bad thing is you don't really have any control about how thick it is. It is a little bit thicker than a hairline. Now you got to keep in mind, so you don't have any control, one, and two, it's having trouble cutting through the wood because it's not precisely focused. So I wouldn't suggest using that. So I wasn't happy the way this showed off. It does show off a little bit, and to the naked eye, when I've got it in my hand, I can really tell the difference. So I came up with this. I burned a hairline, and then I burned two hairlines that were spaced 0.0, basically a 1,000th of an inch away from the other one. This one is two lines, 3,000 of an inch, 6,000 of an inch, 8,000, and then 0.01 and 0.12. You can definitely tell the difference between the kerf line of the hairline and the 0.02. And if you look at it in magnification, that's how close the lines are together in 0.02. I mean, I'm not even thinking about measuring them, but it's 0.1 apart, 0.100th of an inch apart. Now, it did make the kerf bigger, quite a bit bigger. You can very well see that in the drawing or in the picture. And what has happened, it's actually burned the wood between the layers, because there is a space there where if you haven't watched the first video, if you contour, or if you just, let's move it over just 0.001, make a duplicate and move it over. Well, that's 0.1. Let's go backwards. Let's move it over 0.001 and move it over. You can't see any line now. It's a thicker line, and if you move it over a couple more times, you can see that it's separating. But so 0.001 just makes it a little bit bigger line, and it is going to make a little bit bigger kerf, but it just depends on how much kerf you want. And like I said before, I've never tried to increase my kerf. I've always tried to reduce my kerf, because I do a lot of inlays, so I will contour the inside piece larger so it fits in here real tight. Anyway, I hope that answered his questions. Maybe you learned a little bit, and thank you for watching.